stole them, Rabbi.
Did you see how the priests ignored him? Levi Matthew, the tax collector.
Oh, that accounts for their action. If I had my way about it, I'd do more than ignore him. Who's first on the list?
This man. He came by boat and is going to the north by the upper Galilean road.
The usual tax.
Here is the road tax, and this is the head for me, for my wife, and for my son.
Did you say this is your son?
Why, yes, sir.
I thought so. This boy is your son. Why does he bear the mark of a slave?
Oh, but I tell you that...
Enough. Tax is 5 shekels for the slave. 5 more shekels for trying to evade the law.
Oh, but I can't afford to
5
pay.
more shekels or you go to prison. Guard?
Oh, it's an outrage. We'll be left penniless in our own country. A man can't even land upon the shores in his own country.
Master, I didn't know the tax was double for evading the law.
It isn't, but we have to make something for ourselves.
Here comes your sister.
Well, greetings, Anna. What brings you here?
I'm on my way to Martha's and stopped to remind you that this is our mother's birthday.
Oh, so it is. And how is Mother?
She's much better. And you're still her favorite, even though...
Even though Father will have nothing more to do with me?
Yes. He'll never accept you as his son again until you give up this position.
I'm afraid our dear Father will never get his wish. I have no intention of giving up my position. It's too profitable. Your name?
Simeon, jewel merchant of Damascus.
Is this all you have?
Yes, that is all.
Remember what that last jewel merchant tried to do?
Oh, yes. Are you sure this is all the merchandise you have with you?
Why, yes, of course.
Search him.
You don't have to do this. I've told you the truth.
We'll decide this matter ourselves. Eusebius, open every bundle.
There's nothing in there but my own things.
Enough of this. Confiscate his goods and let him cool off in prison. Eusebius, see to it.
Oh, don't send him to prison. He has never wronged anyone in his whole life. He was only trying to protect me. He was
He
just...
struck an officer of the law. For such he must be punished.
Oh, with my husband in prison, what is to become of us?
There's none of my concern. Take your things and be gone.
Matthew, how can you be so cruel? Why should this poor woman suffer for something she didn't do?
You be quiet. This is none of your affair.
Now I can see why people hate all publicans and tax collectors. I'm ashamed to be your sister. If you'll come with me, I'll find a place where you can stay. Then we'll see what we can do about your husband. Thank you. Come in and wait. I'll go and speak to my father. Don't worry. Everything will be all right. Shalom, Father.
Shalom, my daughter.
I've just had words with Matthew. What is it this time? I stopped to talk to him, and while I was there, a man and his wife were paying their tax. Matthew was sure the man was hiding something and had him searched. It was shameful the way they did it.
What else did they do?
But Eusebius took a bundle from the woman, and the contents were scattered all over the ground. The husband struck him in protest. Did they find what they were looking for? No. The man had told the truth. But because he'd tried to protect his wife, Matthew sent him to prison, leaving his wife and child with no place to go and no one to look after them. I brought them home with me.
Does she know that Matthew is your brother?
I don't think so.
You did right, my daughter, to help the woman. It is our duty. Go, bring her in. Prepare a place for the woman. Anna, it will seem strange to have a young child in the house again.
the Lord be with you and your children.
Peace be with you. Anna has told me of your trouble, and you may dwell with us while we see if your husband can be released. My wife is going to prepare a place for you.
How can I ever repay your kindness? Come with me.
Father, I'm glad you approve of what I did.
Not only did you do right, according to our holy law, but you have helped to make restitution for the evil my son has wrought. Who would believe that my firstborn, a son that I raised and cherished, would become Levi Matthew, a hated and despised tax collector?
Eusebius.
If any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross daily and follow me. For whosoever would save his life shall lose it. But whosoever will lose his life for my sake and the gospel's, the same shall save it. For what shall it profit a man if he gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul?
Levi Matthews, greetings. Have you been listening to him?
Yes, but James, what are you doing here?
My brothers and I are here with him. He called us, and we've become disciples.
Are you no longer fishing?
No. One day, not long ago, Jesus passed by while we were mending our nets. He stopped to talk. Soon, a crowd will gather to listen. When he had finished talking, he asked Simeon to put out into deeper water and let down the nets. Simon said it was useless, for we'd toiled all night and hadn't caught anything. The master insisted, so Simon did as he was told. No sooner did we put the nets down than they were so full of fish that they began to break, and we had to call to our partners in the other boat to come over and help us. We filled both boats till they nearly sank. When Simon Peter saw this, he dropped to his knees and said, "Depart from me, for I am a sinful man, O Lord." Then Jesus said to Simon and all of us, "Come ye after me, and I will make you fishers of men." So we left our father Zebedee and his servants to carry on. And we've followed the master ever since.
It's a strange story. You know, I've heard rumors of miracles performed by this rabbi. But this is the first time I've met someone who actually witnessed one.
Those were not idle rumors, Matthew. From what I have seen of him, I'm beginning to believe that nothing is impossible with him.
You and your brother must have faith in this man to have given up a profitable livelihood. What do you expect to gain?
In terms of money, nothing. In terms of serving, everything. But we've learned that it is more blessed to give than to receive.
And you believe that?
Yes.
I'm afraid that's something I could never do.
You've just heard Jesus say, "What shall it profit a man if he gain the whole world and lose his own soul?"
Think that over.
My friends are leaving. I must join them.
Peace be with you.
Matthew, give thought to what you've heard today. Each word that he speaks contains a message that should be remembered. You'll find that I'm right. Peace be with you.
Where are you going?
To Raymutgilia.
Let's see, there's road tax, bridge tax, 2 shekels in all.
No more?
No, that's all.
But Matthew, you forgot the pedestrian tax, the ship tax, and the license.
Yes. So I did. Gain the whole world and lose his own soul.
And call no man your father upon the earth, for one is your Father, which is in heaven. Neither be ye called masters, for one is your master, even Christ. But he that is greatest among you shall be your servant, and whosoever shall exalt himself shall be abased, and he that shall humble himself shall be exalted. But woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye shut up the kingdom of heaven against men. For ye neither go in yourselves, neither suffer ye them that are entering to go in. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye devour widows' houses, and for a pretense make long prayer. Therefore ye shall receive the greater damnation. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye compass sea and land to make one proselyte, and when he is made, ye make him twofold more the child of hell than yourselves. Ye blind guides, which strain at a gnat and swallow a camel. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye make clean the outside of the cup and of the platter, but within they are full of extortion and excess. Thou blind Pharisee, cleanse first that which is within the cup and platter, that the outside of them may be clean also. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye are like unto whited sepulchres, which indeed appear beautiful outward, but are within full of dead men's bones and all uncleanness. Even so ye also outwardly appear righteous unto men, but within ye are full of hypocrisy and iniquity.
Put it there.
Eusebius, you should have been at the synagogue with me this morning. You would have enjoyed it.
What happened?
Never have I heard a rabbi speak so scornfully of the scribes and Pharisees.
Who was he?
A man from Nazareth called Jesus.
That's the one you listened to the other day, isn't it?
Yes. There's something about the man that draws people to him.
There must be to get you into a synagogue. Did you have a chance to ask him any questions?
Me ask him questions? He wouldn't speak to a tax collector.
Behold, there went out a sower to sow. And it came to pass, as he sowed, some fell by the wayside, and the fowls of the air came and devoured it up. And some fell on stony ground, where it had not much earth. And immediately it sprang up, because it had no depth of earth. But when the sun was up, it was scorched, and because it had no root, it withered away. And some fell among thorns, and the thorns grew up and choked it, and it yielded no fruit. And other fell on good ground, and it did yield fruit that sprang up and increased, and brought forth some 30, and some 60, and some 100. He that hath ears to hear, let him hear.
thou wilt, thou canst make me clean.
I will. Be thou clean. See thou tell no man, but go thy way, show thyself to the priest, and offer the gift that Moses commanded for a testimony unto them. Follow me. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that entereth not by the door into the sheepfold, but climbeth up some other way, the same is a thief and a robber. But he that entereth in by the door is the shepherd of the sheep.
Matthew is honored to have such a learned rabbi as his guest.
He is the only rabbi in all Judea who will eat with a group of tax collectors.
Such conduct will be severely criticized if it becomes known.
It will be. Look.
The Pharisees.
James, why do you and your master eat with tax collectors and sinners?
They that are whole have no need of a physician, but they that are sick. But go ye and learn what this meaneth. I desire mercy and not sacrifice. I am not come to call the righteous, but sinners.
How is it that the disciples of John and the disciples of the Pharisees both fast, but your disciples do not?
Can the children of the bride chamber fast while the bridegroom is with them? As long as they have the bridegroom with them, they cannot fast. But the days will come when whom shall be taken away from them, and then they shall fast in those days. No man also seweth a piece of new cloth on an old garment, else the new cloth that filled it up is taken away from the old, and the rent is made worse. And no man putteth new wine into old bottles, else the new wine shall burst the bottles and be spilled, and the bottles shall perish. But new wine must be put in new bottles, and both are preserved. And no man also, having drunk old wine, straightway desireth new, for he saith, the old is better.
What was the man's name?
Simeon, from Damascus, a jewel merchant.
Striking a Roman official. There's no chance of getting him released. He was fortunate he wasn't sentenced to the galleys.
The man was innocent. He was telling the truth. You or I would have done the same thing.
No man is justified in striking a Roman official.
The man's wife and child are destitute. They have no place to go. What's going to happen to them now?
We can't help that. Our duty is to enforce the law.
But I beg of you...
What news, Alpheus?
Nothing can be done. I even talked with the officer at Roman headquarters. He said there was no hope for his release. He was lucky that he hadn't been sent to the galleys.
Is there no justice in Israel?
Not unless you can afford to pay for it. It's unfortunate that this woman's sorrow should be caused by one of my own blood. Why couldn't the Lord have blessed me with a son that I could have been proud of?
But Alpheus. Why, Matthew. My son.
Mother, it's good to see you. Father, I want to speak to you.
There is nothing for us to talk about.
I have something important to tell you.
Please, go. You've caused enough sorrow in this house already.
Father, I've renounced my position as tax collector.
Ha! I don't believe it. Your love for money is too great.
Oh, Matthew, is this true?
Of course it isn't. It's a trick. He wants something from us.
Yes, Father, I do. I want your forgiveness and your blessing.
Ah.
Father, this is Simeon, a man whom I wronged.
Simeon! Oh.
I heard that you have given shelter to his child.
Why, Matthew, I was told there was no hope for his release.
Yes, I know, but Rome has a price for everything. Now, will you believe me?
But, my son, what has happened to bring about this change in you?
A rabbi called Jesus of Nazareth. I've listened to him speak many times, and it is he who has changed my whole way of living. In gaining wealth, I had forgotten that I had a soul. Jesus made me realize it. And then yesterday he came by the seat of customs and called me to follow him. This I've decided to do.
You mean you are giving up everything to follow this man?
Yes. For I would learn more of him and his teachings, that he might show me his way of life. For I believe now that there is no other way.